this is commentary on the 9th chapter of Shantideva by Mipham Rinpoche. He is a great scholar and great practitioner in 19th century in Tibet. And we translated this because there are some commentaries to Shantideva's text. Shantideva is Indian master, Nalanda's master in 8th century. It's a really very good text. And I studied it many times in this text. Of course, read it a lot of times. And when I read, it's very beautiful. We can learn a lot of things, like the compassion example here, emptiness and compassion. It's basically talking about emptiness and compassion, like bodhicitta. And so, and this text is some sort of philosophy text. The Buddha Dharma is not just blind faith, right? This approach is a dharmic path. We have to study. We have to contemplate it. We have to meditate. That's just a way of the path. It's intelligent path, the path. And also His Holiness, I think he's a very wise person, saying that Dharma centers and monasteries, it's not just prayer and practice or something. But when we see the Dharma centers and monasteries, it's considered as some sort of school to study the philosophies and ancient wisdom of the Buddha. That's a kind of human values. It's just we taught it. It's compassion, bodhicitta, loving kindness, those wisdom. This is one of this kind of type of the text. When we read these, then it's very important. We have to know what they're talking about. This is just not people just talking something. The great scholar and great Mahasiddha like Shantideva clearly show the natural reality through their wisdoms, through their experience. And the great another commentator like Mipham Rinpoche, those kind of amazing teachers explaining what's as a problem, how we mind creating troubles, and also what is natural reality, how we can eliminate our suffering, and what is the benefit. So this kind of a lot of questions. Then, of course, when we're talking about a profound subject, as there are different ideas, it's not just one small thing. And when we are talking about some deep, profound subject, then a lot of great teachers is involved in discussing in here. Many schools within Buddhism and non-Buddhism too. They're all talking about a natural reality, a different point of view. And here, of course, this is a Madhyamaka text. So Madhyamaka's, terms of Madhyamaka in the middle way. Middle way is a fundamental natural reality is a middle. As their emptiness and appearances. Appearances is sub emptiness, emptiness is sub appearances. And sometimes it's easy to understand if you have some sort of was it quantum physics?
Quantum physics.
Yeah, I think some sort of, if you're breaking down fundamental of the atoms, is then is one way appears something, another way is empty, right? Appearance is empty, empty is appearances. That is the way I look. It's the same thing in what we are seeing, hearing in this phenomena. It's the same thing. Middle way, is we shouldn't consider the two pillars between middle of the two pillars something. Sometimes use terms. Fundamental nature of reality is union of appearances and emptiness. And Ju Mipham Rinpoche is saying that when we're using those terms, we shouldn't consider that two some what do you call it, straight, put it together or something. Two colors, mix it up something. It's not like that. It's just empty itself is appearances. Appearance itself is emptiness. And the terms of middle way, also we can learn a lot of things. It contains a lot of wisdom, That's if we use for the actions, it's very, very helpful of other just daily activities and food. The middle is always good. Too much eat is not good. We know that. Too little eat is not good either. So we have to go middle way. And the water and any sleep and those basic things. And work if you can. Too much and too little. Both is extremes. It's not good for us. Then the outside conditions, we always have to have, perfect condition. 72, 3, something. So, middle way is always good. And here it's talking about that's middle path, middle way philosophy. Middle way philosophy is the highest philosophy of Sutta schools, the Buddha Dharma. And so, the idea is that if we want to abandon our suffering, then we have to know exactly what it is. This being in self. Here is talking about selflessness. Self, interdependent self. We are not thinking interdependent self. We have view as some sort of permanent self. That's birth to, me, mine. A lot of troubles relate to this in this philosophy. First we have me, mine, then. A lot of troubles relate to that. And then what we are holding on, the permanent view of self, and here saying that we have to look at, do really we have a permanent self or not? Then here said, no, there is no permanent self. If we investigate it outside of the body, inside of the body, in the mind, it's always changing, it's different. It's just moving. It's like hands, right? Hands, relative point of view, is we have hands. And if you look at where is hands we give the name, then these large fingers put it together. This hand. There's no something hands, in the finger, and just all fingers put it together. We labeled, and we give the name, and we think this is a hand. Something there, hand. The same thing. Five skandhas put it together, then we have self, interdependent self. If you then, selflessness is wisdom. It's a good thing. If you realize selflessness, it doesn't disappear yourself. yourself is better self. More beneficial, happier, and more compassionate too. You know, those, if you realize selflessness, and this teaching is talking about, if you realize emptiness, then the saying that the dissolve the concerned, just worldly, some sort of troubles, and the raising compassion naturally.